Hey everybody, welcome back to the Shadowed Path. Now, as you can see, things have changed a bit. Whoops, I just got rid of that. Good start. So I did a little revamp of our setup. So I have a little overlay now, and I've got some nice presentation, I hope. Obviously you can see my office. You see the one ring right there. Starter set. But yeah, this is a sort of a new way of doing things a little bit. Obviously we still got our dice rolls and everything. I need to talk to the camera here, even though the broadcast is here, and I control everything from this screen, which is great because that means I'm looking more into the camera, less off to the side, and rolling as is usual. That's a 2. Good start. Like I say, good start. But here we go, and here are my notes from last time. So it didn't go well last session. We ended up, Adir, he visited Saruman, but Saruman, the council in which he was trying to engage Saruman in, did not go as planned. Saruman was not particularly helpful. He was very guarded, despite me tweaking the rules, trying to succeed in my council. The best thing that Saruman gave was like this distant island to like the gosh, I did it again. This is gonna take a little bit of getting used to. We're back. The closest thing he gave was just like something about an island far to the north that was once part like ruled by the Númenóreans, and I just don't think Adir would go all the way back there. He knows where Balin is. He's searching for help. Now the question is, while he's at Orthanc, where does he go from here? Does he maybe... he can't. Lorien? This music is not doing it for me. It's weird. That's a little better. So that's the question. This is a question of where does Adir, son of Onar, go? Does he go up north through Dunland? Or does he go around here and go through Fanghorn to get to Lorien? That seems unlikely too. I mean, that'd be nuts. Rivendell is so far away. I'd have to go through Alston Ithil. Like, obviously Elrond would be a good person to talk to, now that he at least knows. But I think this is what he asks. I think he asks about the Grey Wizard, because I think Saruman is much of the philosopher of wisdom, right? He doesn't really go out of his tower. He is intent to let others do that. And so I think the role here is to ask Saruman if he knows where the Grey Wizard Gandalf is, because Adir would know that Gandalf is extremely sympathetic to the dwarves, and would help Balin if he needs help. Now the question is it a persuade roll to try to... Well, I think this is more of like, this is a question. Does Saruman know where Gandalf is, right? So for this, we start off with middling, likely, doubtful. Let's say that it's... I'm going to roll one of the black dice, black and red die. I like this one. I think it's middling that he would know, perhaps, where Gandalf is. So 6 or greater. That's a solid 1. Okay, so he does not know where Gandalf is. So where does Adir go? I'm just struggling. He can't go back. If he went all the way back, it would be a huge journey. He's probably a wanted man in Tharbad. Who else would know how to deal? I think it's just got to be go toward Rivendell to see if Elrond has any information about this. So that's what he's going to do. Which means he's going to set off. We're going to say that he starts down here. And we'll say like there's like 3 hexes to get around through the Gap of Rohan. I know that's not canon. But that's fine. So let's take a look at the rules real quick. The journey rules. Adventuring phase, journeys. That's okay. Here we go. Setting off into the unknown, journey rolls. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing that I need to do, here's the adventuring. I just always have to refresh my memory about exactly how the order of events. All right, set the path. Okay, let's set the path. Shit, I have to go through Dunland. That's really not good. Okay, well, he has no choice, I think. Oh. I want this. There we go. He's going to go... I think he's going to follow the road as much as he can. But I don't think he wants to go through Tharbad. So then I think he'll split off. He'll cross the river. And then sticking to these borderlands and Old Region. He's going to come up through here. And then he'll try to come to Rivendell that way. That's not going to be easy though. Alright. Okay. My course is set. Make marching rules. So that's a travel roll for him. Good thing he's awesome at travel. So we get 3 and it's favored. So 2 d12s. And what is the date? I think it is... Did I write it down somewhere? Okay. I don't think so. I think it's autumn, though. We're going to say that it's like... I think, if I can remember correctly, it is... We're going to say September 15th. Oh, but I took 2 weeks. So if he got, I think it's more like October 2nd. Let's say that. Yeah. Current date. And then I'll go session 12 notes. Okay. So it's going to be fall, autumn. So it means that there's a little more danger. So let's see how we do here. Oh, good thing I got that 10. Or things would go really, really poorly, I think. I need 13, which I definitely get. But no extra successes, which is unfortunate. So that's just gonna take me like 1, 2. Because I need to get to this third one before I actually make it onto the map proper. Alright. Fun. So then it's my first event. Yeah. I just think this game is like really hard. Okay. Lore table. No. Event. So we need to roll an event die. Here we go. And I'm in Borderlands. That's a Gandalf rune. All right. That's not so bad. We'll take that for sure. So that's for a joyful sight. If the roll succeeds, you regain 1 hope. Okay, so we're gonna scroll down to a joyful event. Trouble, misfortune, no choices. Joyful sight. Okay, so now we're going to roll a d6 to see what joyful sight we see. A 5. Ancient monument. Awareness to recognize its significance. Awareness. Okay, let's see. What's Adir's awareness? Awareness is not so bad. Okay. That's actually pretty good. Awareness, I just needed 12, and I got an extra success here. It says here I regain, if the roll succeeds, regain 1 hope. Well, that's handy. I think, oh good, I'm not all up on hope. So I do regain the hope. We'll take that, thank you. And now the question is, what does he see? And this is like some of my favorite parts of this game, is figuring out what he saw. All right, so aspect, focus. We'll go like this. So 6, a 5, and a 6. So 5. Mighty. Oh, I need 1 more. 1. Mighty. Mighty creature. Mighty creature. Oh, well, this is Dunland. And I just watched the War of Rohirrim movie. I think it was like a solid 6 out of 10 or so in terms of films. It was okay. I think they forced it a little bit, but definitely better than the Rings of Power or the Hobbit movies, frankly. But in that film, there was like a scene with a Oliphant, one of the crazed elephants, and that came from the south, and the Rohirrim were confused about why it was there, and it was a precursor, or almost like a harbinger, of their war with the Dunlandings. And I think as Adir is traveling, he comes across like an old statue of maybe like the ways or the hows and ways in which the Dunlanders were defeated, and it shows the Oliphant, maybe like the ruins of an old statue of an Oliphant being hunted or something like that. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was trying to pause my thing before I sneezed and I couldn't. Wow, that was crazy. Okay, so that was a good one. All right, so next roll. So I need the same travel roll. Let's move along. Come on, get some sixes here. I do get a 6. 8 and 6 and 5 and 3. So that's it's a good roll. It's a fine roll. Oh yeah, there you go. So that will get me 3 up. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Now, I think due to the fact that Adir is carrying a cursed item that once belonged to a Dunlanding, and like his great grandson wants it back, is sort of pulled towards it. That and the fact that Saruman is already making armor for the Dunlandings and is starting to sow discontent. I think due to that, I'm going to treat this like a Darkland, even though it's a Borderland, which, yay, bully for me. Yeah, Darkland. Wildlands. This must be in the old map. Oh, Borderlands are green. Wildlands, Darklands. Okay. So I'm in the Wildlands, but I'm going to treat it like a Darkland. Which means 2 of these to determine my event. And I take the lower. That's a 2. Great. I'm sure that's totally fine. So let's take a look here. Here we go. 2 ill choices. Okay. Fun. And then we'll do a d6 to see what ill choice. Okay, a 3. Overlooked hazard. Awareness to escape safely. Awareness. Okay, well, I just rolled an awareness roll and did pretty well on that. Oh yeah, I got that 6 on that awareness roll too. So, and I didn't use that. So perhaps I could take that forward to this. I'm gonna say, because I like cheating and I don't want Adir to die. Okay, so what is this overlooked hazard? I think I straight up, I think it's a trap. I think it's like, I don't think we can do it any other way. Like, Saruman was not helpful. He's already arming the Dunlandings. The Dunlandings want something that Adir has. Like, I know this isn't like a notable... They've been tracking him. He escaped somehow the first time with some spectacular rolls. So, like, I think there's no reason to think that he wouldn't be waited for, right? And so he's gonna try to... It's not an overlooked hazard. It's sort of like a looked for hazard, but it's still an awareness check nonetheless. So let's see. Oh god, it was terrible. It's so bad. It's a 1, a 4, a 1, and a 6. Well, that's 10. That's a 12. Did I actually succeed, perhaps? I did. I did succeed. Oh, that's so lucky. That's so close. I got 12. That's crazy. Okay. So since I get 12, I'm able to not take the I don't take the dread, which is huge, actually. That's very good. But I still have to deal with the narrative of this situation, because I think these Dunlandings are still waiting for him, and I don't think they have any love for dwarves either. It says in the books or in the One Ring books, that they even would go all the way to the Blue Mountains to raid the old dwarf holds there, which that seems like a long ways to me, but apparently that's a thing, at least in terms of the One Ring. So I do see them. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna take a look at like the favored, ill-favored. Let's see here. Fortune table, ill fortune table. Let's go for the fortune table. Like, it's a bad situation. So this is what I imagine, is that Adir, son of Onar, is traveling along the road with his pony Grinkle, but he's keeping a close eye out. He's traveling by night and sleeping during the day because he knows that he's going to be looked for, and because, yes, that's it. And we're going to sort of broad brush this, where he's sort of like sneaking around at night, trying to be clever, like using the cover of darkness to avoid these people. And then I'm going to roll on the fortune table, since it's good fortune that he is so aware of what's going on. He got a 5. Enemies run afoul of danger. Okay. Yeah. So I think this means that perhaps as he's traveling, this is the obvious one. This is like so thematic. Okay, so he's hiding out and like trying to avoid them when the Rohirrim come on a patrol. This is before Theoden King has been completely, I think Theoden King would probably be quite young, actually, at this point. So there's still stability in Rohan, at least some. And they send out patrols. Dunland is sort of like a annexed part of Rohan before they rebel. Like they're sort of second-class citizens, and Rohan has treated the Dunlandings very poorly. But that is the lore, and so perhaps this is intense music. Okay, I'm gonna pause this. There we go. Okay, so I think that's it. I think he gets sort of rescued by the Rohirrim. This one night, he is hiding in the woods during the day, and he's off in sort of like off the road. He has no fire, even though hopefully it's not terribly rainy, and he hears a great troop of horses come by, and he is gonna try to like sneak to try to like get a glimpse of them to see if they're friendly or foe. Oh no, his sneak is really bad though. He only has this for stealth. Nope, not even close. Perhaps the horses, they sort of sense his pony, Grinkle, or Glickle, I think, is the pony's name. And Glickle sort of hears the horses and is feels some kinship with them, and it calls out to them. And Adir's like, "Shh! What are you trying to do? Get us captured?" and the horses wheel, and he gets found out by the Rohirrim. Now, the question is, can he get an escort? Would that be hilarious? Okay, let's see. So I think this might be like a council thing. I think setting resistance. I think it'd be a huge council, but perhaps just through Dunland, right? Like if he can get a Okay, I'm gonna think about this one sec. Okay, so like the lore says that the world has gone, downhill. People don't trust each other as much. It is, it's a dangerous world, and so I think it's unlikely that the Rohirrim are initially friendly. I think they're distrustful. So the question is, are the Rohirrim friendly and trustful by default? We'll go with that. I think there we go. That's the role. So, are they trusting by default? Doubtful. So 8 or greater would have been... Oh, anyways, I was thinking 8 or lower. So that means they're not specifically trustful in my brain. How I rolled that, it didn't make sense in terms of the table, but it made sense in my brain that they would not have been. So I imagine that... Let's sort of set the scene here. We have Adir sitting in the woods in a small copse of trees. It is October, early October, and it's overcast and a bit blustery, but not raining. He wears a cloak. He has his dual axes at his sides, on his hips. His pack animal, Glickle, is tethered nearby, and I think he risks a very small fire so that he can cook some food, and he's just sort of at a loss. I think there's a bit of despair going on here, even though mechanically that's not shown. And that's maybe as he's sitting in this place, he hears this rumbling from some ways off as the breeze dies down, and it sounds like many hooves. Let's see, I'm gonna roll 3d12 and see how many of people are in this patrol. 6, 11, 14. So we'll just call it an odd 15, but even, 15 just makes it sound proper. So like 15 and a captain. And he hears this great thundering of hooves, and his pony begins to like sort of looks up and looks at him, and he goes, "Hi, what are you doing? What is it? Is it danger?" And it sort of wiggles its nose. He goes, well, be quiet. We don't want to be found out. Could be Dunlandings. And then all of a sudden he hears a whinnying horse from somewhere near the road, and his pony looks up and gives the same like whinny. I'm not going to try a whinny. I can't do that. He goes, "Hey, you're trying to get us caught? What are you doing?" And it isn't much. Like at first he thinks maybe that they passed him by, but then, and I think the forest here is maybe a little too dense to ride through at speed. And so he knows he can't outrun anybody with like, he's on foot. He's got a pack animal with all the stuff on it. He's waiting there, and he thinks at first that maybe they've gone past. But then, let's see. I'm gonna roll an awareness roll to see if he notices the Rohirrim maybe have sent a couple guys out on foot to like go check who this is. Oh, Gandalf, baby. Gandalf rune. I'm into it. All right. So he does notice, maybe as they approach, he hears a snick, a little break of the branch under somebody's feet, and he goes, "Oi, who's there? I warn you, I'm armed." And do they approach? Do they approach? I think it's middling, a middling approach. So middling would be 6 or greater would be yes. He sees these dark shadows run back into the woods, and he was supposed to be like, he was going to be saved by them, and now he thinks they're bad guys. Okay, and so Adir, he's like, "Oh, you've made a right meal of it. I guess we're going to have to hoof it as quickly as we can. They've probably gone for help." So he bundles up his stuff as quickly as he can. Do the other Rohirrim come back sooner then he can get on the road? I'm going to say it's likely. Oh, wrong dice. But likely. So 4 or greater was yes. So yes, they come back. I think there's that 7. There you go. I think he's like just trying to, he's all packed up, but he's trying to obscure the fact that he was there, or like make sure that he's not leaving a trail behind when he hears a voice from the dense wood. You can hear them coming too, and he's like, "Oh, right, and Durin's beard, they're gonna catch us." And he hears them coming through the woods with horses. They've brought their horses this time, and then a man's voice says, "Freeze there, dwarf. We have half a dozen bows pointed in your direction." And Adir throws up his hands and he goes, "Aye, no trouble for me, my lord. Why don't you come into the open so I may see who I speak to?" I can't get Adir's voice right. I'm constantly changing it. It's terrible. I'm sorry. The man says, oh gosh, my cat is on my lap, but he's doing his best to fall off so he can claw me. Oh my gosh, Wellington. Stop. Okay. The man says, "First, tell us your name and whither you are going." And Adir says, "Aye, my name is Adir, son of Onar. I've come far from the lonely mountain in pursuit and in service to King Dain under the mountain. If you are friend to King Dain, I beg you lower your bows, for I have none, and surely from the sound of your horses I am far outnumbered and no threat to you." I think this is a courtesy roll. Works pretty good here, which he's good at courtesy. I don't use this skill very often, but here we go. Courtesy to just try to get him to do this. Okay. I didn't. Okay, so I did get. I didn't succeed. I did fail, but at least I didn't get that Eye of Sauron that was rolled on my advantage or whatever. So, okay. He doesn't succeed. So, the voice says, "Many claim to be in the service of those who are good and righteous, but a honeyed tongue does nothing to prove your will and your intent." Aye, that is so, says Onar, Adir, son of Onar. But surely your sheer numbers are enough to pacify any threat I have made against you. Who are the lot of you, and where have you been going? We are not the ones to be asked questions here, dwarf. What have you been doing in these lands far from home, if the Lonely Mountain truly is where you hail from? I came to seek the wizard Saruman the White for his counsel, for one of my kin, Balin, son of Fundin, is grievously sick, and with some strange sorcery that it is beyond my people's skill to heal. The man says, I have... Oh, I guess, has he heard of Balin? I'm not sure if he has. Let's go middling. 7, so 6 or greater. 7 is a yes. He goes, I have heard of Balin, son of Fundin, before. A noble man, dwarf, I should say, if all accounts are true. Aye, it is, says Adir. But the wizard could not help, and I am stuck traveling back, or perhaps to an Imladris to seek help, for there has been little that I have found on my travels. At this, I think the man sort of pauses. He goes, Imladris, is that not the hidden valley, the hidden vale we call Rivendell? Aye, my lord, it is. That is where I travel to, though it is a long journey from here, and treacherous too. The Dunlandings have been tracking me for some days now, and I am hard pressed to avoid them. I know not what they seek, but it's clear they are hounding me like wolves. I think this suddenly changes the captain's sort of idea of Adir. He goes, "You say that Dunlandings are tracking you. Why?" "I assure you I know not." We have come on patrol here over many years of kings, and we keep an eye on the Dunland and Dunlandings. They are not to be trifled with. They are they are ill-tempered and quick to anger. They are petty in their grievances and mischievous in their thought. If they are searching for you, it is likely they have some need of you or yours. Okay, so how does this go from here? Okay. Okay. So at this point, I think I'm looking at my skills. Okay, got it. Adir says, I thought that you were them. That is why I was trying to flee as quickly as possible. The man in the woods is in armor and like not plate or anything, but perhaps a chain shirt and leather tunic, and he can't really be seen. I think he's obscured himself as well as some of the other Rohirrim, and are trying to make themselves unobtrusive and sort of hidden in shadow. I thought you were coming to kill me, though I know that now is not the case, and that you are an enemy of the Dunlandings. I am no enemy of them, though they seem to seek me, and I wish not to find them. So, if you could be of any assistance to see me on my way out of these lands, I would be of the most... I would be in your debt, perhaps, and in a position to help you in the future, should you need it. And the dwarves. You and whither will you go? We could escort you perhaps to Tharbad, though that is an ill place as well. I fear you will have little you will meet few friends there. I know it. I came through that way on my way this direction, and it was harrowing. I dare not return. Okay. I think this guy is gonna want something. So like the question is, what does this guy want? One sec. Let's look here. Alright, so the question is gonna be, what do the Rohirrim want? And I'm going to do an action, aspect, and focus. So here's, let's write this down real quick. What do the Rohirrim want? So first is action. I have Sauron 1. Abandon. Okay. Aspect 2-4. Bright. Oh wait, no. Dark. And 3. Focus is I am Sauron 2. Despair. Abandon, dark, despair. That's pretty bad. So, doesn't seem great. I feel like there is something here, like the abandon, dark, and despair. They don't necessarily need to go in order, and they don't necessarily need to mean it's something that they want, but maybe something that they're attempting to do. Like, I have this idea that there's like perhaps the lady of the house of Errol and Edoras perhaps has fallen under some curse of some kind, and that's it. Yeah. And this group is going to speak with the Dunlandings. Does that make sense? Or wouldn't they go to? They'd go to. I think they'd go to Saruman. So, well, maybe this is it. Maybe they already spoke to Saruman, and he wants the Dunlandings to be persecuted by the Rohirrim, because this is all part of his grand plan. So he told the Rohirrim that, oh, the person who is cursing the lady of the house at Adoras, or maybe the great shield maiden of Adoras. I like that. That's cool. To be enfeebled is the Dunlandings, and so you need to go check on them and see what they're doing. Yes. So that's what happened, and so this man says, we have business with the Dunlandings, for they have some strange sorceries that we cannot explain, nor understand, but their wickedness can be of influence from afar. And if you would join us, then perhaps we could take you as far as we will go. And the Dunlandings will see you aligned with us. And Adir goes, I see the sense in that, certainly. Now, I don't think me and my pony will be able to keep up, though, not in the way we've travelled so far. It is, you are swift riders, and carry little other than yourselves. At that, and I still don't know your name, if you could tell me. So what is this guy's name? I think leader of the Rohirrim is Elomir. Elomir. I think that's fine. Yeah. That's actually a pretty legit name for a Rohirrim from someone from Rohan. And he goes, my name is Elomir, son of Elingus. Oh yeah, I like that. Son of Elingus. There we go. Aye, well, if you have any idea of how I could travel with you, I'd be much happier, yeah, to have your protection. And though I know not what help I can be to you, perhaps there is something I can do in return. And Elomir says, there may be something you can do. The Dunlandings do not take kindly to the Rohirrim and to those of Rohan. Perhaps it is you they would take direction from and hold counsel with more willingly than one of our own. Seeing the way that they've been chasing me, I don't know if you're really correct about that, but surely I'll try, as long as I have backup that is willing to stop me from getting killed. Indeed, we do. And so I think at that point they figure out how to make sure that maybe they can't go quite as fast, but Adir, son of Onar, travels on one of the horses with one of the Rohirrim. Let's say there's leader of the 15 14 other Rohirrim. And then Adir joins with them to confront some of the Dunlandings, and Mir wants him to be the spokesperson for the group. That seems unlikely. But I mean, it doesn't, like, he's like, well, like, there's such a long history here. The dwarves perhaps have less history with the Dunlandings. I think that's actually not such a bad take on it. And perhaps this is gonna work out. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Okay. Well, I think spokesperson, not sporks, spokes. I think that's what's gonna happen next time. We're gonna find out. So this time, that was actually pretty good. Experience milestones. Ow! God, my cat is the worst cat sometimes. He just clawed me. I don't get... Weird. Okay, hang on. I gotta look up the experience real quick. Alright, here we go. Did we accept a mission from a patron? No. Achieve a notable personal goal? No. Complete a patron's mission? No. Complete a meaningful journey? No. Face a noteworthy encounter during a journey? No. Reveal a significant location or discovery? I don't really think so. Overcome a tricky obstacle? No. Participate in a council? No. Survive a dangerous combat? Face a road? I didn't get anything. I don't think. I think it'd be a bit of a stretch to say I achieved any of those things. So that's fun. Okay, no experience for me. Boo-hoo. I did gain a point of hope earlier in the session. All right, but that is all, I think, for me today. So here we are. We did not... Oh, no, my route. There we go. We did not make it very far, if we have all this way to go, but we did make potentially powerful ally. I think that's worth something. I made a potential ally. That should be worth experience. That's crazy. I think that should be... I'm going to say that's going to be worth skill point or adventure point. I think that's worth adventure point. So let's go to here. I'm going to go... We get 1 adventure point, so we're up to 6 adventure points now. I think that's more than fair, frankly. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for joining the Shadowed Path. My name is Nors. That's my gaming name. It's fun to play and mess around. I hope you enjoyed this new sort of setup. I know it's not super profesh, but it's something I just tossed together pretty quickly, and I thought it'd make it a little nicer. Oh, I see here that I'm like so zoomed in. Maybe there's things that you weren't seeing during the game. That's not great. Interesting. Well, you got most of it. Oh, gee, Wellington. Okay. So, anyways, we're going to save this, and yeah, until next time, I hope you enjoyed the Shadowed Path. Thank you for watching, and whoa, I just turned up my volume on accident, or the cat did, actually. There we go. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you're interested in gaming sometime, you can reach out. I run a Discord. It's not super active right now. I run a campaign of this with 6 players, same storyline. I get all my ideas from my solo campaign and then just put that into my Shadowed Path proper campaign. We play once every 3 weeks, so not often, but it's been a lot of fun. They definitely have a different take on things. It's definitely sort of become its own story as time has gone on. I'm looking to start actually a 5e campaign sometime soon. And if you're interested in joining that, can always use some good players that are sociable and fun. I've been thinking that I'd like to start like an actual play podcast of a game that's all together sometime. But I'm just not quite sure how to get that started yet. So anyways, yeah, if you are, reach out on Discord. If you are on there, my username is .nors, just like I'll show you here, like this, .nors. That's all. So cool. Until next time, thanks for watching.